Colorado, there is tons of money to be made there. The question you got to be asking yourself is, am I going to be making it as a lien or a deed state? In this video, we're going to show you exactly how it works. It's phenomenal. It isn't just the land of skiing and a team that's only taken state. Sorry, Broncos. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to make money in Colorado, okay? This is a great place to get going. I know people have been doing it there for 40 years. So by the time we get done with this video, you know exactly how it works and what the nuances for you and your family are. Now remember, this is all about algorithms and bigger words that I can't pronounce in that whole world called the internet. Okay, listen, this information is for you, and I so appreciate the fact and all the comments I get. The more of you that say, yes, I like it, and subscribe and comment, the more people get this information. It also provides me with a feedback to say, hey, yeah, this is the kind of content that you're looking for, okay? So I can go out there and make it out. So it supports everybody involved. So I thank you for doing that and continue to make it happen. Now let's get into Colorado. Colorado is a tax lien state. Okay, so like my 663 rule, if you don't know that, watch the other videos on that. This could be easily a state that you would pick for a lien state. So if you look at Colorado and you look at Denver, almost smack dab in the middle, and if I was to pick some surrounding counties there, you've got Arapahoe, you've got Boulder, you've got Jefferson County, or what have you, and they have tax lien sales, okay? Now, understand, in Colorado is a tax lien. That means they have to have been delinquent at least 1 year before the county can bring it up for sale, okay? You're not buying somebody's property. What you're doing, matter of fact, you're never dealing with the property owner, you're dealing with the county. In this process, when you're dealing with the county on this whole thing, okay, they're doing 90% of the work for you. So there is an interest rate involved, okay? We'll get to that in just a minute. But I want you to understand that all you're doing is taking their position on this. So in the beginning, if they redeem, you get that interest rate. If they don't redeem, it's 3 years, you get the property, and just like all the other 50 states out there, you will own it free and clear. Because just like all the other states, Colorado is a tax lien, and the tax lien, property tax liens, take a superior role to all other liens and encumbrances. You ask why? How is that possible? Well, think about this for a minute. Every single property in Colorado has got a parcel ID number on that. That initiates or identifies where that property is, but it also gives the county the ability to collect the taxes on it. If they don't get the taxes on that money, they don't function. Number one is going to be schools, roads, bridges, fire department, all of that good stuff. They need that money. This is the only lever the county has to ensure that people are going to pay their property taxes on that. So if they don't, I want you to go back a little bit. Who controls title on the property? The county does. Okay, the county ultimately controls the title. So this is what they've said since before we became a nation, and as more states grew, they just adopted these same rules. If you don't pay the property taxes, we aren't going to release a clear title. We don't care who you are. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So let's say that there's property taxes owed and the big bad IRS comes in and seizes the property. They can sell it, they can do whatever you want. Nobody's going to issue clear title until somebody brings those taxes up in current. Interesting. Let's say the mortgage company comes in there and seizes the property for foreclosure of bank payments. They can do all that, they can sell it, but my position on there is equal to the county. So in order for that new buyer to get a clear title, they would have to satisfy me. All of that is going to flip-flop as far as purchasing the property in a tax lien. If I foreclose on anybody else, unlike them, I am superior to all because taxes have always been due on that property. Number one. Number two, the county goes, we are who we are. We have to have our money. If nobody pays us, we have to have the lever to pull to say you can buy the property and you're going to get free and clear. Now, nobody's sneaking up on anybody. In Colorado, just like everywhere else, in order to foreclose on this property, I would have to notify everybody out there. Okay, so once that 3 years came up, I would have to notify everybody on that property, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, hey, we're foreclosing on the property, and they would have an opportunity to come in and satisfy the back taxes plus whatever the penalty is on that particular property on there. Now here's the kicker. So let's talk about the interest rate. This is interesting in Colorado. Okay, in Colorado, what they do is they take the Fed rate as of September 1st and you add that to 9%. That's what your interest rate is. The other side of that is it's only on the amount of taxes owed. For instance, if I'm buying a $1,000 lien on a property and I buy it at the full value, I get whatever the Fed rate is on September 1st of that previous year, in this case it'd be 2023, plus 9%, only on the $1,000. But if I'm at the sale and I buy that lien, I could say I'll take it for $1,000. Somebody could say $1,005, $1,010, $1,000, whatever that is. Let's say it gets bid up to $200. I don't get paid interest on the $200. I only get the interest on the dollar amount. So effectively, I'm lowering my yield, the dollar amount of the lien, so the $1,000. So again, like everything else out there, you need to know what you're doing before you go into the market, okay? This is exactly what I'm talking about all over the place. Now, isn't it, see, you look at this and go, well, that's a little weird. Why don't they do it this way? You want them to do it this way. You want them to make it a little complicated. I'm telling you, I've been doing this 30 years. I don't want this to be systematized nationwide on that. What happens is it's gonna, see, the more complicated they make it, the more I'm going like this, because most people are lazy. Most people aren't like you. They won't watch a video and learn and get themselves financially out of the situation they're in. They see one little obstacle on this and go, oh, I guess I can't do it. I see this and go, oh, fantastic. They're eliminating other people. Like I've talked about in other videos. Let's talk about the IRS or a bank or whatever the case, but let's talk about the big bad IRS while we're on the subject. We talked about it earlier. It doesn't matter to me if it's got an IRS lien. It doesn't matter if it has a mortgage on it, because I know as a tax lien, if in like Colorado here, they don't pay within 3 years, I can foreclose on the property. If I foreclose on the property, I would have to notify the IRS. The IRS is allowed 120 days, regardless of what the state says. Okay, the state could say 60 days for bank or 120, it doesn't matter. IRS nationwide, 120 days. So if the IRS doesn't come in within that time period, and their only relief would be to pay the taxes plus the interest rate, their position is wiped out. And so most people are fearful of the IRS because they sit there and go, oh yeah, I don't want to have to deal with them. There's a whole problem there. I don't care. I know as a county, my position takes a superiority over everybody, especially federal liens. Okay, and I know that's counter, but if you go back to the pandemic and you look at what happened with the counties on there, they allowed the counties to make their determination. And this isn't a political statement, but some counties that were strict on masks and some weren't, because the county interpreted the state's rules. They could really care less what everybody else was doing. So when that started happening, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because I've been dealing with that in the lien world forever. Okay, so in other words, when I go into Waka Waka County, wherever that is, and they say this is how we are interpreting the state rules with tax liens, I go, okay, I do not expect that to happen in the county over. There are some guidelines over there, but I know for a fact that I've got to dig into that one just like I did Waka Waka County. What are their nuances? What's happening here? And how are they treating that? Okay, so when the sale is, how they initiate the list. So if I'm in Colorado, and now if you noticed, I said Denver and surrounding counties. Very rarely will I go after the downtown area. Okay, it's just a thing. I've just found that the major metropolitan areas, you're going to have more competition. Usually there's a lot more bureaucracy involved. That's just what I'm finding. So when I'm doing my 663 formula, if you don't know what that is, go to my other videos. Okay, if I'm doing my 663 formula and I'm picking 3 counties in the state of Colorado, I'm going to do the surrounding counties of a metropolitan area. On that note, also, with the whole migration, there's a demographic change countrywide in the United States and actually anywhere in the world because of the pandemic and also the advent of online remote working and what have you. So what was a dying community because there were no jobs, there was nothing happening, are seeing revitalizations. Because everybody can sit there and go, wait a second, I can work here and remotely work. Or maybe I only have to come in one time a month or one time a week or twice a week. I can handle that, but I now have the lifestyle I'm looking at. So I might even extend that reach to be not just the counties surrounding the major metropolitan, like Jefferson in this case, Arapahoe or Boulder, but anywhere else about that. So that's what you have. That's what you've got for Colorado. Listen, there's a lot of information. I could literally spend 2 hours on that. If you want more training on this, you know what to do. Hit the link down below, higginsmethod.com. I've got some free information out for you. Absorb that, get that in, find financial security for you and your family. This is Saen Higgins saying God bless and good luck. See you there.